Espectacular, volvemos al programa y seguimos con la segunda entrevista del día de la fecha. Llega el momento de la segunda parte del Enemigos Maluma. Llega el momento de hablar con los amigos de Taiwán, de LAANG, que es esta banda de super heavy metal contra zarpado técnico que acabamos de escuchar. Si estás escuchando YouTube, escuchamos una cortina, te invito a que te vayas a caretaradio.net y ahí vas a poder escuchar LAANG. Pero ahora, si querés, quédate acá que vamos a estar haciendo una entrevista hermosa con nuestros amigos. Raulo, saludalo al amigo de LAANG y arranquemos esto, ya está.
Dale, perfecto. Can you hear us? It's okay. Hola, hola, hola. You're mute.
Oh, I see. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect. Everything is perfect. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. We are going to start the interview. Please tell us your full name, where are you from, and how old are you?
Yeah, my name is Haitao Yang. I'm from Zilong, Taiwan, and I'm currently 27 years old. 28 in a month, but don't worry about it.
Perfect. Bueno, nos están hablando desde Taiwán, desde la ciudad Keelang. Sorry for my accent. Sorry for that.
Oh, no problem.
Ok, perfect. Bueno, y le vamos a preguntar ahora cuál es su primer recuerdo escuchando música. And please tell us, which is your first memory of you listening to music?
Honestly, I think I was probably 3 years old, something like that. But my parents really liked grunge when I was growing up, and they had an album by the Cranberries, and I think the song "Zombie" or something is probably the first song I remember listening to. And they actually have a photograph of me just sitting in front of a speaker. I guess pulled up a little chair right in front of it. I love the Cranberries apparently, so that's my earliest music memory.
Wow, and the Cranberries came through the radio, through the TV?
Through the radio, yeah.
Perfect. Increíble. Bueno, le pregunté su primer recuerdo escuchando música y dice que los padres tenían un disco les gustaba mucho el grunge y tenían un disco de los Cranberries, y la primera canción que él recuerda es estar escuchando Zombie agarrado de una sillita de nenes, así que increíble cómo empieza esto. And can you tell us which was your first instrument and which was the first song that you learned?
I think it was a lot less metal, but honestly, I think my first instrument that I properly learned was the flute, of all instruments. And the first song I actually kind of taught myself was actually from the Pokemon soundtrack. So.
Great. Bueno, el primer instrumento nos decía que era la flauta, y la primera canción probablemente que él aprenda por sí mismo fue una canción de los Pokémones, de Pokémon. And can you tell us, there are any places to study music for free in Taiwan, or you have to pay?
I think everything you have to pay. I had to pay, and if there's anything free, great. That's probably just YouTube at this point. But no, yeah, we all have to pay for our lessons, unfortunately.
Perfect. Bueno, lo que nos estaba diciendo que no hay lugares para aprender música gratis, es todo pago, y que lo que hay como para aprender gratis, bueno, es de otras generaciones, joven, tiene menos, es sub 30, sub 25, mano, así que está todo bien, y que probablemente YouTube sea el único lugar en donde se pueda aprender música gratis. And can you tell us, when you were in school, when you were small, there were tribes like the people that listen only to metal, only to rock, that kind of things, or they were all mixed?
Yeah, I think there were groups. I mean, we were mixed a little bit, but for the most part, I think most of the people I hung out with all liked some kind of metal or gothic kind of music. But I think in Taiwan and even in Norway is kind of where I did a lot of my growing up. They're still not very popular areas for metal, so even being in the big black metal world, it was still not. It was a little bit niche.
Okay. Bueno, le pregunté si había tribus cuando él estaba en el colegio, y dice que sí, que había tribus, pero que el metal no es realmente muy famoso. Hay nichos en donde hay grupos de personas en donde escuchan metal o cosas más extremas, pero que no es realmente algo muy mainstream. And can you tell us which instrument do you learn to play to make this kind of music?
I was 12 years old when I decided I wanted to play the guitar. I started with, kind of punk and things like that. And, flute just wasn't great for that kind of music. So, started first with guitar, played that for several years, and then kind of started diversifying and trying to learn more instruments as time went on.
Perfect. And your first guitar, bueno, le pregunté cuál fue el primer instrumento realmente con el cual empezó a tocar otro estilo de música. Dice que no fue la flauta, que fue la guitarra a los 12 años, que aprendió, empezó tocando música punk. Y, can you tell us which was your first instrument and who gave it to you your first?
Yeah, my first guitar, my dad actually bought it for me. It was a used Schecter. I'm trying to remember the model, but it was from the Diamond series, like Devil kind of guitar. It was cool. It was fun actually. It was a great guitar. Great one to first learn on. It was around €100. Not too bad.
Perfect. Bueno, y la primera guitarra que tuvo nos contó que fue una Schecter que se la regaló el padre. And did you ask a guitar, or he only gives to you play the guitar?
I asked for it.
Okay.
I really wanted to try, and my dad was actually a guitarist, still is. So he was. I think he was kind of excited that I wanted to learn as well.
Perfect. Bueno, le pregunté si él se le había pedido la guitarra o se la había regalado, y dice que el padre es guitarrista, y que bueno, estaba realmente excitado que el hijo le guste la guitarra y le regaló una Schecter. And can you tell us how was the first time that you play in public?
It was not long later, actually. The music school that I was learning from had a program where they tried to kind of give us on-stage experience trying to play music. So my first year I was actually 12, and I had no idea what I was doing, and it was probably awful. But that was really the first time, was kind of in this really structured kind of music school kind of format. I made a band the next year, and we were terrible, but our first show I was probably 13 years old, I think.
Wow. Bueno, le pregunté cómo fue la primera vez que tocó en público, y dice que tenían un programa en su escuela, un programa que se dedicaba estrictamente a ponerlos en vivo, a hacer música en vivo, a subirlos a un escenario, y dice que esa fue su primera oportunidad más o menos a los 12 años, y ya a los 13 ya empezó con un proyecto propio, con una banda que dice que probablemente sea horrible, pero bueno, fue su primera experiencia. And how did LAANG begin, the project LAANG? And why you put that name?
Yeah, so it's kind of a long story, but the short version of it is I had a near-death experience, and it was not fun, as I think anyone can imagine, and I was left with a lot of emotions that I was just having a very hard time working through, a lot of residual fear and depression and things like that. And some people like to write, to externalize their feelings, or keep like a diary or something, and I'm not very good at verbally expressing myself, I think, but music was always something that was helpful for me to express myself through, so it was something that I made as a way to kind of just express what I was feeling and help myself externalize what I was working through, needed to think about and feel. And the name, it translates to cold, frío, in Mandarin.
Wow.
And it was honestly the best word I could find. It kind of represented the feeling of what I'd gone through physically, as well as kind of the emotional state, just being very detached and cold to the world, I guess.
Perfect. Bueno, le pregunté cómo empezó el proyecto LAANG y por qué le puso ese nombre. Dice que tuvo experiencias de mucho estrés, de muchísimo estrés, y que tuvo, bueno, estrés postraumático, también estaba con depresión y todo ese tipo de cosas. Y lo que él decía, que no es muy bueno escribiendo, pero sí que una manera de externalizar todo lo que él sentía era a través de la música. Y bueno, empezó con el proyecto LAANG, que aparte LAANG la traducción del mandarín es frío, es cold, y bueno, piensa que es un nombre adecuado para el proyecto, para todo lo que él va sintiendo. In November of 2018, you released an orchestral edition, no? Of 6 songs. Why you do that? Why you make that? And how was the recording process of that?
Yeah, so the funny thing about kind of the way that I write the songs is every song starts first on a piano, and then I kind of build these orchestral layers to kind of have this kind of larger background sound, and then I put all the metal stuff on top of that. And when making the first album, I think part of it was I almost wanted to show like a behind the scenes kind of behind the metal. This is what I wrote, and then the actual album is everything that kind of came out from that. So it was kind of like a little peek into the creative process in a sense.
Bueno, le pregunté porque en 2018 el primer lanzamiento que hicieron con LAANG, con la banda, fue una cosa orquestada, y le pregunté por qué el primer lanzamiento fue algo orquestado, y él dice que el proceso de composición primero empieza con el piano. Entonces lo que él trató primero de componer, o sea, empieza con el piano y después le va metiendo capas de otras cosas hasta terminar con el proceso. Y lo que él primero quiso demostrar es cómo él tiene las cosas en la cabeza, o sea, que empiezan con algo bastante orquestado y después termina en metal, así que por eso lo primero que editaron fue algo orquestado. Where did you study piano?
Self-taught.
Wow, nice.
Oh,
sí. Bueno, dice que el piano lo estuvo estudiando por su cuenta. In December of 2018, you released your first album. The name is Haiyang. Sorry for my accent. Why you put that name?
So the name translates to ocean.
Ocean.
El mar.
Sí.
En español.
Thanks.
Trying to remember. So it's to me, I think using the ocean as a metaphor is actually really helpful to describe what my personal experience was with this near-death experience. In many ways, it kind of felt like floating, I think. Kind of, if you imagine floating halfway above, halfway below the water, and that's kind of the border between being alive and not. So I use that as a metaphor quite a lot for that. And at the same time, I think it's also something that is kind of poetic in a sense. Like the ocean is something that I think it gives life, but it can take life, and it has this nice duality that I wanted to pay homage to that.
Wow, beautiful. Bueno, en diciembre, después de sacar este EP con 6 canciones orquestadas, sacaron el primer disco que se llama Haiyang, que la traducción es océano, ocean, mar, y lo que me estaba contando, que le puso ese nombre como algo metafórico de toda la experiencia que él había tenido, cerca de la muerte, con todos los problemas que tuvo. Y él es como el mar, es algo también, la sensación de estar en el mar, de estar como flotando, y que estás con la cabeza un poco afuera y un poco abajo, y también el mar es algo que trae vida y también te la quita. Entonces es como que quería rendir un homenaje por todo lo que le había pasado a esa metáfora. Y el concepto de Haiyang es el nombre que es océano. In November of last year, you released your last album, Riluo is the name. Why you put that name, and how was the recording process?
Yeah, so the name means sunset. Not sure the Spanish name for that.
No, it's okay.
But yeah. So that one was really kind of, it's a bittersweet goodbye, I think, in a lot of ways. The sunset kind of represents saying goodbye to my former self in a lot of ways. Years have passed since my experience, but what I'm trying to do with this album is to say I'm accepting that I'm not the person I was before anymore. I can't go back to that, and it's coming to terms with that, which isn't an easy thing, but that's kind of my attempt to do so, is kind of saying farewell to that past self. And the creation process, actually I wrote most of the album while I had COVID. I had a lot of guitar riff ideas. I worked at a music school at the time teaching guitar lessons, and anytime a student wouldn't show up, I'd just say, great, here's an hour that I'll just work on writing the album. And then when I got COVID, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna be inside for 2 weeks. I'll just sit here and do most of the recording, and just did nothing but record, except for vocals, because that wasn't going to work. And then Willie recorded the bass. We hired Zach to record drums. and I, when I felt better, recorded the vocals, and that was it. It really was a very efficient process.
Wow. Bueno, le pregunté por el disco del año pasado, del 2023, que el nombre es Riluo, bueno, pero que significa sunset, que sería como atardecer, como final del día, y dice que es como el concepto es que él como ya está terminando un poco toda la etapa de esta de esta parte, la personalidad, digamos, que se creó después de esta experiencia de casi morirse, como que ya es una etapa que estaba terminando, y él como que quiere expresar eso a través del sunset. O sea, parece que filosóficamente el sunset es como una despedida, y bueno, que quería reflejar eso. El proceso de grabación fue durante el COVID. Él estaba dando clases de música en una escuela y bueno, la agarró COVID y dice, bueno, ok, tengo 15 días para componer y hacer todo este álbum, y lo fue escribiendo, agarró la guitarra, compuso un montón de cosas y empezó después con la grabación, no con la parte vocal, porque la parte vocal obviamente no podía cantar, pero bueno, tenía la guitarra, el bajo, la batería, y después armó toda la parte vocal. Sorry for the question, but you have really problems with COVID in Taiwan. How was that?
Yeah, so there was a lot, but I think Taiwan and a couple other countries nearby it was a little bit more familiar, because in the 1990s SARS came through, which was something where a lot of people were already wearing masks before COVID even happened, because lots of people just remembered that. So in some ways, I think Taiwan had a very good response, but we were also very, very cautious, very concerned about it.
Okay. Bueno, le estaba preguntando con tranquilidad todo lo que fue el proceso del COVID en Taiwán puntualmente, y lo que ellos dicen que ellos ya habían tenido una experiencia en 1999 con el tema del SARS, entonces ya la gente ya estaba como bastante acostumbrada a usar máscara, que no es algo que les vino así de repente de tener que usar máscaras obligatoriamente, y dice que pese a todo, los países que tienen alrededor, Taiwán le fue bastante bien, y que la palabra puntualmente que ellos utilizaron, que fueron muy cautos con todo el tema de la enfermedad, así que lo pasaron relativamente bien. We've been talking with bands from UK and all around Europe, and there are bands now that are post-COVID and pre-COVID. It's going to. I think that people now are talking about COVID. The last 2 years, maybe they were no, don't talk about that. And now there are a lot of new bands that came before COVID, after COVID, and they are like a post-COVID band. It's going to be wow. It's incredible. We have like a few weeks ago we talked with a band from the UK, and they said we are post-COVID band. What? Incredible for us. Was really shocked. It was incredible. And can you tell us what did the lyrics of your last album talk about?
For the most part, there was kind of two sides. A lot of it was dealing with the emotional weight of saying goodbye to that past life, and kind of remembering important moments along that recovery period. There were moments like, breakthroughs, or times that things really just came back in a bad way, as well as just, when you've been recovering for years, sometimes people just get tired of dealing with it. And I'm doing pretty well at this point, but there's been times when I wasn't, and that was difficult for myself, but also people around me. So that's something that's discussed. The other side is there were moments from the event itself that I really just wasn't comfortable externalizing before. So this was an opportunity to kind of talk about some of those things that were much more morbid, and I just don't like to remember, but I had to express.
Wow, wow. Bueno, le estaba preguntando puntualmente por las canciones de Rilu del último disco y dice que hay una parte que es completamente emocional, o sea que son los recuerdos de, por ejemplo, cuando él se estaba recovery, ya se estaba sintiendo un poquito mejor, se estaba recuperando, y hay otra parte directamente que eran cosas que él no se quería acordar, de las cosas que no quería hablar, pero que las tenía que expresar de alguna manera igualmente, y bueno, salieron en el disco. Can you tell us, how do you define LAANG music?
Yeah, the genre that I like best for it is post-black metal, because it does have the black beats and tremolo picking, but it's not real black metal. I mean, it pulls in all kinds of influences from all over the place. So I think that's probably the most accurate, but even some people would probably debate that, and that's fine.
Okay, sí. Bueno, le pregunté cómo define la música de LAANG, y dice que él la define como post-black metal, pese a que hay gente que dice que no es black metal, que no es post-black metal, pero a él le gusta definirla como post-black metal. And can you tell us, I'm a big fan of metal music and black metal and all that kind of things. Do you think that kind of music is really aggressive or not?
I think it depends, actually. There's some kinds that are, and I try to make music that is aggressive, even if it's not traditional black metal. But I think there's a lot of beauty in black metal in a lot of ways. You know, it doesn't have to be aggressive. A lot of the time it's slow, atmospheric and melodic, and most black metal shows that I've gone to as a fan, you know, I don't see people moshing or, you know, really being hardcore. They're really just kind of lost in the music in a lot of ways. So I think it's actually, in the strangest way, it can be a very gentle genre for some people.
Exactly. I feel the same. I think that the word that you use is atmospheric. It's like the mood that you make in concerts or listening to that music. It's not really aggressive. They are images or scenes, ¿no? And really emotional. Yeah. I completely agree with that. Bueno, le estaba preguntando si la música, el black metal, él lo definía como algo agresivo, y dice que no necesariamente. Dice que tiene un montón de cosas aparte de lo que es la música en sí, que puede ser agresiva o no, pero también tiene cosas, hasta belleza, nos dijo, porque tiene cosas que la palabra con la que me quedo, que son muy atmosféricas. Tienen el mood, o sea, que dice, por ejemplo, que no necesariamente en los recitales de black metal vas a ver gente haciendo mosh, haciendo pogo y matándose a piñas, sino que están ahí escuchando y recibiendo, digamos, lo que el artista le transmite. Tremendo. I completely agree with that. Sí. Manu, ¿tenés alguna pregunta para hacer?
Me gustaría hablar un poco del circuito de allá.
Sí.
¿Cómo hay lugares para tocar? ¿No hay lugares para tocar? ¿Cómo es todo eso?
We are really happy because it's our first time with people from Taiwan, and we are just listening like, wow. It's incredible for us. Sí. Manu is
happy to be the first.
Nice. Manu is now in Buenos Aires. I'm in Spain, and we have a lot of listeners from all around Europe. It's incredible for us. Manu wants to know about the circuit, the local scene. Where do you play? Where did the people from black and metal and rock music went to listen to music?
Yeah, in Taiwan, it's a very small niche scene. We have really 2, maybe 3 kind of main cities where you'll see the shows happen, and the audiences aren't huge. You know, it is quite small. Most people do listen to, you know, pop and rap, you know, kind of like everywhere else, but the scene that there is very supportive. Everyone is very friendly. Everyone kind of seems to know everybody else. A lot of the bands are very, very talented. I want so many more of them to be heard as well, because they're phenomenal. They're very good.
Bueno, Manu le preguntó por los lugares a donde se suele tocar, y nos dice que hay 3 ciudades particularmente donde sí se escucha mucho rock, mucho metal, pero bueno, la mayoría de la gente, como en todo el mundo, escucha pop y rap, se está escuchando un montón ahí, pero también lo que nos dicen que es verdad que muchas bandas, las que surgen y las que salen, son bandas muy talentosas, y dice que después a él le gustaría que se escuchen más bandas de Taiwán porque son realmente muy talentosas. And sorry for the question, no? But the places, how are the places? They are like rock places, or there are normal pubs or normal places, bar where you meet a band playing metal?
Yeah, there's a couple different ones, but for the most part, they're kind of like smaller bar-type venues. The main one that I see people play at is a bar called Revolver in Taipei. Revolver, like the gun. It's small, but it's got a good sound, and there's kind of a usual consistent group that you'll see there. So it's mostly that kind of thing. If it's a larger band like Thonic, they'll play festivals and all that, but for the most part, most of us are playing venues like that.
Perfecto. Bueno, sí, hay bares o lugares, hay lugares rockeros, ahí nos estábamos nombrando uno que se llama Revolver, que son pequeños, pero bueno, hay bandas como Tony, que recién la nombró, que son bandas más grandes que los suelen llenar, y que también hacen shows grandes. Do you have the chance to went to a really big concert of metal? How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, I think probably the main ones that we all see is the festivals in Europe during the summer.
Okay.
Things like Wacken and Hellfest and all that. Like, I mean, that seems incredible. And any opportunity to play at those, we would be thrilled. I'm not sure if we're there yet, but someday that would be really cool.
But you you have the chance to go to any particular show that you like? Which one? Have you ever seen, for example, Metallica or something like that, or not really big bands?
I haven't seen Metallica. I think probably the most popular metal band I've seen is Rammstein.
Rammstein.
Yeah.
Wow, Rammstein playing in Taiwan.
Huge arena.
Really, like a stadium for 20,000 people, something like that.
Yeah, huge. I didn't see them in Taiwan.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they've even come to Taiwan.
Okay.
But I saw them in Europe, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Bueno, la banda más grande la que fue a ver fue Rammstein. Sí, increíble. We are really paying attention of what you're saying. It's incredible for us. Nice. Manu, ¿alguna otra pregunta?
Sí, me gustaría preguntarle por si nos podría nombrar algunos referentes de ahí de Taiwán, de grandes bandas de black metal o lo que él quiera.
Sí. Manu wants to know about big bands or the biggest metal bands in Taiwan. Which are they?
Thonic is definitely the biggest. They are the best introduction for any metal from Taiwan, I think. But there's others as well. I think one of the other big ones, especially in Europe, is Bloody Tyrant.
Sí.
In Taiwan, called Baojun. But yeah, they're really good. They tour Europe quite frequently now, and we share a bassist with them, which is super cool. He's a really talented musician.
Wow. And sorry for the question again. You feel a pressure, a pressure like I'm from Taiwan, I have to be talented, or you don't feel that?
We want to be as good as possible. Yeah, we try to work really hard and make sure that we're doing the best we can.
That is honest. That is an honest answer. Thanks for that. Perfect. Sí. No. Por fin alguien honesto, Manu, que dice, sí, queremos ser los mejores. Perfecto, sí, está bien. Y si tocas bien y tenés talento, vas a querer salir a romper todo. Muy bueno.
Otra pregunta es si se puede vivir de la música en Taiwán, o bueno, eso.
Sí.
Es accesible o es muy complicado.
Sí. Manu wants to know if in Taiwan you can live playing music, or it's hard to get a band.
It's hard. Our bassist Willie, he does music full time. He runs a recording studio and a practice space, and he's really smart with the business. So he does music full time.
Okay.
I am at the point where I might be able to, but not because of the band. It's because of other music work that I do. But it's hard because Taiwan is especially in the up north. It's kind of expensive.
Okay.
So I work in a normal job
Sí.
Just to make sure.
No, it's okay. Wow. Bueno, ahí está la respuesta. Sí.
Decía que era caro, la calidad de vida ahí es cara.
Sí, especialmente en el norte, que dice que es extremadamente caro, que su bajista, el bajista sí tiene un estudio de grabación, salas de ensayo y sí se puede estar 24 horas con la música, pero él particularmente tiene los proyectos musicales, aparte de trabajar en escuelas y tiene trabajos normales como para poder sustentar el proyecto. Dice que sí, es difícil, es complicado.
In Argentina, we didn't know about Taiwan's society and the state, and I want to know if it's easy to find weed in Taiwan.
He makes always the same question at the end. Always.
Because I want to know if I'm going to Taiwan or not.
No, that's a good question. I think it's harder than other places, but you can find it if you want to.
Thanks for the answer.
But it's not legal.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, you can find anything.
Okay. So maybe I go to Taiwan.
He's happy now. Increíble. Sí, no, we are going to finish the interview. What do you think about the social medias and the streaming services?
You know, I think the easy answer that everyone says is they complain about them, but honestly, I don't have a lot of complaints. I think, streaming services, everyone talks about, they don't get us paid. I don't care, honestly. I'm not trying to make a ton of money from this. I'm just trying to make music that I like. And I think if anything, it's just made it easier for people to listen to the music and find us. And, social media, it's expensive to try to, get ads and try to get people to see the music, but at the same time, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't even be talking. It's been really helpful for just people discovering us, which is super cool. So I think it's been very helpful.
Perfect. Honest answer. Again, he's really an honest person. I like. No. I really like honest musicians. That you speak what you think. It's perfect. That. Bueno, lo que nos estaba diciendo de los servicios de streaming y las social medias es que el servicio de streaming, toda la gente se queja de que no pagan mucho ni nada, pero a él realmente no le importa porque a él lo que le importa es hacer su música. Después, si la gente la escucha, mejor, pero particularmente de los servicios de streaming no le importa mucho porque él pone su música ahí y es la música que él quiere, que es lo importante. Y con respecto a las social medias, lo que él dice que es complicado, tenés que poner un montón de plata para tener promoción y tener visualizaciones, digamos. Ser visto en las social medias ahora cuesta caro, así que eso no es algo muy que le guste mucho, pero sí dice que sirve para darte a conocer y dice que lo que pasó que nosotros no nos hubiésemos conocido si no fuese por la red social, así que está todo bien. Manu, ¿alguna otra pregunta?
Yo estoy.
Sí, perfecto.
Sí, me gustaría preguntarle qué es esa cosa de vidrio que tiene atrás que tira rayos, no sé qué es.
La luz, Manu.
Sí, esa cosa que hay atrás.
Manu wants to know about the light that you have back. Yes.
No, you have a thing with a glass. Eso. That thing, what is that?
It's actually the snitch from Harry Potter.
Oh, beautiful.
Tiene mil cosas.
Harry Potter.
Wow.
My friend actually just got me this for Christmas.
Perfect. Okay, Merry Christmas. Terrible.
I love that.
Sí.
I love that.
Bueno, para los oyentes, Manu le estaba preguntando por un muñequito que tenía atrás.
Es muy rara, la pueden ver en YouTube.
Sí, ahí está, perfecto. Y era creo que es Squish, ¿no? Where they play with that. Ok, sí, es la pelotita de squish del juego de cosas. Just to finish the interview, can you tell us something about the future plans of LAANG?
Yeah, right now we are planning very early stages of planning an Asia tour. Our hope is to do really as many Southeast Asian countries as want to have us. We've been really wanting to make a European tour happen as soon as possible. Just getting a booking agency has been really difficult. And we've toured the east half of the US. We'd like to do the west as well. But we're just happy to do whatever people want to see us at. And I've written kind of rough demos for half of the next album. I'll finish them when I when I have the inspiration.
Perfect. Bueno, le estaba preguntando los planes futuros y dice, bueno, ya están armando todo un tour por los países asiáticos, están esperando a ver si consiguen alguna agencia de booking en Europa, que then we are going to send you some links, maybe you can check them. Yes. Bueno, están buscando booking para Europa ya, y están planeando la gira por los países asiáticos y ya tiene casi la mitad de demos de un futuro disco, así que lo está armando y cuando le venga la inspiración va a terminar con el disco tremendo. Excelente.
Una pregunta que me quedó colgada, Raúl, es el vivo de ellos, si hay visuales, si hay algo de eso.
Sí. Manu wants to know when you play live, you have visuals in your back?
Something
Right now,
like that, clothes.
Right now we don't, but I'd really like to, actually. Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Perfecto, sí. No, por ahora no tienen, pero les gusta, mano. Le encantaría.
Years ago, I saw a band called Ararat in Argentina. It's a stoner, very dense stoner. They put movies from Jodorowsky. I don't know if you know. So. Maybe LAANG with some weird movie and that stuff. It's really cool to see that. Yeah. I think it's just an idea.
No, Manu is thinking about the visual production of your band. It's incredible. No, because he really enjoys your music. It's beautiful music. Beautiful music.
Really.
Sí, no.
The last work is excellent.
Sí.
Muchas gracias.
And I love the art.
Sí.
Oh, thank you. I really like the art as well. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out.
Perfect. Sí, estamos todos contentos con el arte de tapa también.
Don't say beautiful thing to old band, eh? I'm really tough guy. It's weird to I say beautiful things to band.
Sí, Manu is not the guy that I love your music. It's not that kind of guy. Sí, I'm more like that. Sí, but not Manu. Sí, es verdad.
Bueno, no lo molestemos más, amigo. Vámonos, ya.
Thanks for your time. We are going to finish the interview with the song to review song from the last album. Can you tell us something about that particular song?
Yeah, so that song it's definitely the most melodic, kind of soft one on the album, but that really is the final goodbye. That one is the song that means sunset, and the lyrics they read as a goodbye, but it's not like a suicidal goodbye. It really is just saying, like, you know, it's been fun. I not really. You know, it's been tough. You know, I wish things could be different, but this is it. And if I say in the song that I accept it, then maybe that makes it easier for me to accept it.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time, for your support, and we keep in touch. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Muchas
gracias.
Bye, my friend.
Muchas gracias. Bye.
Hasta luego.
Nos vamos escuchando LAANG. Quédense con esta increíble banda taiwanesa y nosotros ya volvemos.